Questionnaire 2 and 3 contain an additional question to elicit students' feelings about their research. They were asked to identify how they felt using two different affective scales. Overall, 47% of students recorded feelings of frustration, confusion, or being overwhelmed in the middle phases of the project. Upon completion of the project, however, 67% of students reported that they were confident about their project work, and 26% of students identified with the highest affective state being happy with how it turned out. These results could be attributed to a number of reasons: timely intervention or guidance in the form of student-teacher conferences and class discussions, students feeling pleased that they were able to choose their preferred method of presentation, students learned new research skills, students were confident or happy that they had acquired new topic knowledge and were able to respond appropriately to the overall inquiry question, or students were confident or happy that they had presented their knowledge and conclusions in a creative manner. In questionnaire 3, the students were asked to identify what they had learned in doing the research project. The most common response to this question was that students learned how to write their own inquiry questions. This result was pleasing, as students had also identified this skill as now being easy and beneficial to their research project. It is clear from the data that the information learning activity did produce some positive outcomes or benefits for student learning. Students appear to have benefited from taking ownership of their inquiry by posing their own questions and directing their learning. This is a reminder to me as a teacher to implement more student-directed inquiry learning processes in my classroom. It really does work. The improvement in research skills such as note-taking is also pleasing. Although, as a future teacher librarian, I know that I need to develop this area of pedagogy further, as some students still indicated in questionnaire 3 that they found this aspect challenging. Perhaps the most significant outcome for me is that many students have been able to draw some conclusions about their knowledge discoveries and apply this to their own world. The ability to think critically and apply knowledge to a new situation is a fundamental skill that students require in the 21st century. Students really did enjoy the freedom of choosing their presentation method and felt empowered. This empowerment appears to have had positive benefits in terms of the quality and creativity of the presentations produced by my students. One example of this creativity is a play script produced by the gifted student to demonstrate her knowledge of how the ancient Egyptian society was organised and how religion played such an important part in the society. The idea of writing a play script certainly did not occur to me at the outset of the project. Another reminder to not underestimate the talent and creativity of our students. Reflecting on the ILA, it is evident that there is certainly room for improvement. The aim of the project was to facilitate improvement in the students' information literacy and inquiry skills. Whilst the project did result in increased confidence and increased skill levels, I have identified 3 key recommendations that could be implemented at the school level to effect further improvement. Whilst inquiry learning is encouraged, our school does not currently agitate for consistent implementation in this area. Adopting a school-wide approach to inquiry learning would assist both teachers and students to engage more deeply in inquiry-based learning activities. The inquiry cycle model is recommended as it offers a robust questioning framework that guides students through their investigations. It requires critical thinking and reflection by the learner. I like how this framework focuses on the learners applying their knowledge to the new situations. Explicit teaching of information literacy skills across all year levels is also recommended. The results of my ILA strongly suggest that students need explicit strategies to help them understand the information they are reading, to make connections between their learning, and draw their own conclusions. Students also require explicit teaching that demonstrates the note-taking process and how to transform their notes into their own words when producing their presentation product. The school currently uses strategies from the Reading to Learn program to teach comprehension and writing skills, and it is recommended that these strategies be employed heavily during the making conclusions phase of the inquiry cycle model. The final recommendation is that classroom teachers work collaboratively with the teacher librarian to facilitate inquiry-based learning projects. The teacher librarian's expertise should be utilised during the planning, implementation and evaluative phases of inquiry projects. The teacher librarian can provide appropriate intervention and guidance as students move through the different phases of their inquiry. For middle to upper primary school inquiry projects, the teacher librarian could teach students how to effectively and efficiently search the internet. They could also provide a list of developmentally appropriate websites based on the chosen topic. This would alleviate some of the challenges and frustrations for students in finding trustworthy and useful websites during their research. Implementation of these 3 recommendations would affect significant positive outcomes with regard to developing information literacy and inquiry skills for all students. By following the inquiry cycle model, coupled with the explicit teaching of information literacy skills and inquiry learning skills, students will be provided with a toolkit of strategies to use during research projects. Employing the expert skills of the teacher librarian to work collaboratively with classroom teachers and guide teachers and students through inquiry projects just makes good common sense.